Generational wealth, that's the key. My parents ain't have shit, so that shift started with me.
Generational Wealth University, building wealth with financial literacy in stocks, real estate, credit, reselling, taxes, and more. Brick by brick. Classes in session with Generational Wealth University.
What's good, everybody? This is your host, Shooter, also known as Shooter for Hire, and this is the Teacher's Lounge, episode 2. I have somebody special here for you guys, man. I'm first off, I appreciate everybody going out and checking out episode 1. We just released that today on all platforms on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and also SoundCloud. Go check that out on our official IG page. Generational Wealth University. Click the link. Continue to support that. Our YouTube links are attached to that. So far, so good with that one. The episode 1 was there. It was, it's the first one. So using this the pilot. So I appreciate everybody showing love with the text and letting me know how y'all guys feel about this. But episode 2 is gonna be even lit. Like, I can't even explain to you guys the type of guest that we're having on here. And this young man, this young king here, I've known him for a few years now. Mr. Questhawk. I can't even he's fitness, the fitness urban king, content creator, like SME, and y'all know what SME is, subject matter expert. Like, his content is on point. He's done so much into the community. Father, role model, brother, uncle. Like, this guy got the total package, man. I watched him, and I don't want to say I watched him grow. Like, I watched him from the beginning. From when we first met, I kind of watched his evolution from being in front of the camera to now being behind the camera and just creating these amazing content, these amazing visuals, and just watch the social media influence just grow. He's doing a lot of things in the community and everything. I don't want to take away from him, but that's our guest for today here at the Teacher's Lounge is Mr. Questhawk. Everybody stand up, get on your feet one time for the Brody, Mr. Quest.
What's up,
my boy?
What's good with it, man?
Hey, man, you stay with the fresh hoodies, man. I'm liking that caution. Hey, that's construction orange.
Yep, you know it. They gonna see me.
That's the vibe, man. Happy Friday, man. How you doing, King?
Good, bro. I'm doing real good. Good, man.
That's what's up, man. How's the family?
They are doing wonderful. Boy is still wild as ever, but they doing good. Mom's is here, so Dad gets a breather.
Hey, shout out to Mom Hawk, man, for real. Hey, man, I appreciate you taking some time out on this Friday, man, especially with everything going on, and family time is golden, as I was telling you early, man. So I appreciate you taking time and kind of dropping some jewels for the podcast, man.
Absolutely, man. Anytime I can link up with you, man.
Hey, my first question, man, how's your mental health going?
Man, it's at this age, man, it's the best it's ever been, bro.
That's good.
I used to be in my 20s, used to be scared in my 30s, like, oh Lord. And now I'm like, man, shit, I love my 30s.
This is different.
Yeah, it hit different, man. It hit different.
It definitely does, man. So if y'all don't know, man, Quest, like I said, man, he and correct me if I'm wrong, right? Feel free to correct me. He started off modeling, right? And he's always been into like the fitness since I've met him. He's been into the fitness.
Mm-hmm.
He's turned it up a notch the last couple of years. And correct me if I'm wrong, man. I think you're the urban king out here on this fitness, man. I don't think I've seen nobody with the urban out here running around downtown San Diego flipping off the shit, bro.
I'm hesitant to call myself the urban king. Maybe the West Coast, man. You got to the East Coast, those boys been doing urban training for bars and
that's a fact.
Stop signs, but yeah, we don't call me the West Coast king.
That's a fact, man. How do you feel, man? Do you see like other people out there like copying in a wave? And if they do, how do you feel? Is it one of those things like, damn, like, can I get my love? Or like, damn, I appreciate y'all guys going out there and attempting to do what I do.
You know, to be honest with you, man, I'd say, man, I just gotta keep it 100 on your podcast.
Please do.
You know, I think in this generation, we grew up in a different generation. You know what I
Right.
mean? We grew up being like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm a crossover, like Iverson. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna go up to. But you always gave credit to where credit was due. Like
Facts.
you always bowed your head to the pioneers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With the new age, the new generation coming up, you know, I see a lot of people doing things that I've been doing for years.
Yeah.
You know, and homage isn't paid, respect isn't paid, but that's also part of the game, though. You know what I mean? That's part of the game. That's why you gotta, if you want, you know, I think whenever you're a trailblazer and whatever it is, because you know this whole functional fitness thing has just started taking off, especially with COVID.
Right.
You know, you got people that you could tell have never done functional training in their life.
Right.
You know, out there, bodybuilders like, bro, you did not get that big doing squats on a bench and step ups. Like, it don't work that way, you know.
Right.
But I think it's good, man. I think it's good. I think, you know, I think there's always gonna be there's always gonna be people that come along that maybe like the platforms weren't the same way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now they're different, and so people are getting a little bit more attention for it. They got a little bit more of a different catalyst. But you know, it's always at the end of the day. You know, I've matched up. I've collabed with some people.
Yeah.
And you know, they've had the opportunity to see the difference in someone that's been doing this for 20 plus years.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, compared to someone that's like, oh man, this is cool. I'm gonna start doing this next year. Like,
right,
bro. You know,
yeah. So, good luck.
Yeah.
And I ask you that, man, because I see the hard work that you put in, right? And you can definitely tell a person that's like inexperienced or just be like, yo, that's dope, I'm about to do it too. I can do it too. And then somebody who actually put time into their craft and figured it out, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't have got where you're at without putting that time in. So, you know, I just want to, hey, if anybody's listening that's out here, you know, swagger jacking, I'm saying it. If he's not gonna say it, I'm gonna say it. Like, I don't even care, right? If y'all swagger jacking my partner, man, get that man his roses, man. You know what I mean? Like, get that man his flowers, right? While he's here, man. Just say I mean, there's nothing wrong. And I think in our community, it's so hard to give. It's people, they make it so hard to just want to give props.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
I don't get it. And it's like, you don't see that in other communities. I mean, you see it, but a lot of people kind of like they big each other up in their communities, right? And they bring them along. Here's like we secretly show love, but in public it's like you like, oh man, whatever.
I mean, like my pops taught me, it's an insecurity issue.
Yes,
we don't want to admit that, especially as a culture. We don't want to admit that.
Yeah,
but we as a culture are very insecure. You know what I mean? I equate giving props the same way when you walk by someone, they could be smiling, all of a sudden they walk by you and they like, bro, you did, bro. I seen you smiling the last 2 blocks, bro. Just keep smiling,
right?
You
keep
know,
smiling for real, man. But nah, man, I'm very proud of you, man.
Thank
you know what I mean? Because you've been killing it, man. I'm loving, and it's organic. Like you're not here capping, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
like man. you can tell you just the original organic type dude, man. So just keep grinding. You know what I mean? And it's definitely paying off, man. And I can't wait to see more from you.
Thank you, brother.
So let the people know, man. Who is Questhawk?
Man, you know what? People ask me that question. I get 2 questions all the time. Like, who is Quest? Like, who are you?
Yeah.
And what do you do? I get those questions all the time. You know, and I just tell people, man, honest to God, man, I'm at an age where I just tell people how it is. And I'm in the embodiment of every fuck up that you could do. You know, I'm gonna keep my language clean on here, but every that you can do, I done it twice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every negative, you know, every obstacle that you can think of that could possibly be in someone's way has been there for me. So I try to tell people, man, who am I? I'm the embodiment of resilience, of you know, I think this day and age, alpha mentality is disappearing.
Yeah.
And when people ask me, like, who am I? I'm an alpha. And I don't mean an alpha by the sense of hoopla, manhood in that sense, but the way you hold yourself, the ability not to victimize yourself, the ability to overcome struggle and see that by overcoming struggle, that is what creates an alpha mentality. You can't be an alpha without having the struggle. So if you bitch and moan about struggle in life, obstacles, all this kind of stuff, then you really got to tell yourself that you really ain't what you think you are. You know what I mean?
No, facts.
You know, that's really where I'm at, man. I stay in my own lane. You know, I'm a very quiet person. I'm a very I'm not quiet as far as like in the public eye. You know, I say what I want to say. I put myself up there. But people that know me personally, you know, I'm a very quiet, reserved person. I stay at home pretty much. I spend all my time with my family. Yeah. You ain't gonna catch me out. You know what I mean?
Right. You know, that's with the fam bam.
Yeah, man. I'm a homebody, man.
Shoot, I caught him out loud. Was it 2 weeks ago? We were just at the mall.
Yep.
At the Foot Locker. Hey, so we quick. I'm gonna let you get back to it. So I'm walking. I'm walking in. We're out in Fashion Valley. For anybody's familiar with San Diego, and I go to 3 stores every time I go there. I go to Zara, which I haven't been since the pandemic. Yeah, I go to Foot Locker. Man, I'm not going upstairs, bro, and waiting in no Zara line. I go to Foot Locker to see what the drops are, and then the last one. It's a toss up between Better Buzz if I'm with the wife, or I'm going to Tesla, and I'm only going to Tesla to go highlight my homie. So those are my three stores that I normally go to, and so we're walking and we're masked up, obviously, right, following CDC guidelines. And I'm looking, and I was like, man, I know who that is. I saw the tat on the triangle one.
Yep. Okay. Yep. The AR.
And I was like, oh, they go Quest. And so my wife never met you, but she know who you are, right? And she was like, Quest Love. I was like, yeah, that's him. And she was like, let's go over there. And I was like, yo, what's up, Quest? Woo, woo, woo. And it's just funny, man. It's just like, you're right. You don't see Quest out. It's like, has anybody ever seen like a cougar? Not like a real cougar, right? They're hard to spot. Quest is that type of animal. Cougar is his animal spirit. I've never seen this dude out, but I know he's out doing family stuff. So I was just like, that's crazy that we run into each other doing. Mind you, I've never ran into Quest outside of the pandemic, only at the gym. Only at the gym. So that just lets you know.
That's what I try to tell you. You want to catch me, man, just catch me at the gym between these hours. You'll catch me.
Seriously. But no, man, I think what you had mentioned where you said victimize. I think it was victimize and what you were saying. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that bar that you dropped, man? Because that I agree with you 110%, dude. Yeah,
man. I think it's something that is instilled in us once again culturally. I don't think that's spoken about enough. And you know, let me just make this clear because we on a video cast, right? So people can see me. Right. Look, when I say culturally, look, I'm black and I'm Asian. I know I'm high yellow, y'all, but my daddy, my whole family, I only grew up on black side. Okay, so I think as a culture, I think that we are taught to victimize ourselves. And let me make that clear because that can get misconstrued. What I mean by that is we often use the things that are our adversities to make excuses for the decisions that we make.
Facts.
And that's where really urban, like you see people saying urban training, and they're talking about it as far as a sense of, oh yeah, you know, I use the stairs and I use the bench and I use, you know, I do pull-ups over here. That's cool. Those are exercises. You can do that same thing at any park. You can go out to the suburbs and do that exact same thing. That's not urban training. Urban training for me came out of a situation where I grew up with a single black mom. She didn't have everything to her disposal the way she wanted to her disposal. You know, I couldn't go to the fancy camps. I couldn't go to certain things, even though when she tried, she made what she could have, but it wasn't like my other friends where they knew every year they were going to 3-4 sport camps. And, you know, they were going to go to their dads had gym memberships and all this kind of stuff. And I started to really look at, like, you know, urban training for me, as far as bringing full circle, was my answer to victimizing myself. Right. And being like, man, I ain't got the money to do this, or man, I ain't got the money to have these cleats. I gotta have these cleats to play better. I gotta go to these camps to get my 40 better and catch better. You know, and I started looking at my situation and saying, well, shit, I mean, they playing on a field, but there's a wide open parking lot right there. Yeah. You know, maybe I can't go use the weights, but I can take, I used to take like water jugs and fill them up. You know what I'm saying? And like, bro, I be, you no lie, you be seeing me running down my street and people like, yo, Quest, what you do? I'm like, yo, I'm doing weighted runs. And then I go do, you know, I use anything to my disposal. Yeah. And I think out of that, you know, it came from just not wanting to victimize yourself. I think we're in such a culture where everyone wants to make excuses for why they can't do something.
Right.
You know, like and or what they've been through. Like, oh, when I was a child, I went through. Look, I'm sorry for whatever the fuck you went through as a child.
Right.
I'm sorry for whatever your situation is. But there's 7 billion people in this world. You ain't the only one, shorty.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
And eventually you're gonna have to either defeat your adversities, or your adversities are gonna become and define you.
Facts.
And I think that's where people need to step back and say, okay, do I really want to victimize myself? Do I like look at what a victim is? Look what the emotions, even when you say the word victim, think about the emotions that you invoke within yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That word has such a negative connotation to it, and it invokes so much type of negative energy. I used to tell people, I did a speech for underprivileged youth over in Balboa's for underprivileged youth, the juvenile offenders program and things like that. And I told them, I said, look, I said, everyone will tell you your adversity, right? Don't worry about it. Just keep getting through it, and you'll get through it. Don't worry about it. Just, you know what I mean? Just stay strong and you'll get
right.
And I looked at it, I said, man, why is everyone looking at adversity as such a negative thing where they have to victimize the fact that, oh, I just got to put my head down and get through it.
Yeah.
Instead of looking at it and saying, there's so many situations that the person next to me will never go through. They'll never have those adversities. They'll never grow up in a single home. They'll never grow up poor. They'll never grow up in the ghetto. Why do I look at that as something as a negative to then say, oh, well, you know, I can't make this type of money because you don't understand where I came from, or I can't do this.
Right.
Instead of being like, bro, you know where I came from? Like, you think I'm worried about walking into a meeting to shoot a proposal? Man, I had to walk down to the street to go to my block, and I didn't know if I was going to make it back home.
Right.
Walking into a meeting ain't nothing. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So I think when you start to change that mentality and you start to have a disdain for the word victim, you know what I mean? I have a disdain for the word victim.
Right.
Because I never want that. I never want that to be associated with my name.
Right.
You know, and
it's crazy that you're sharing this, because I had conversations with my close homies and my best friend, and he feels the same way, as if like, don't, because we black guys, right? Yep. Don't allow us being black to be a, oh, I don't have the privileges everyone else, so woe is me type thing. He has 5 boys, right? And so he teaches them, like, listen, you're black, you're beautiful. Don't allow people to say, well, you didn't make it probably because you're black, right? And he doesn't want them to say, to use that and say, I don't need to try at something because of that, or I can't accomplish something because of X, Y, and Z. He's trying to twist it more so and just be like, no, you can, and this is the reason why. And the reason why is because you are black, you're strong, you're beautiful, you can do this. Don't allow it to be to allow somebody to use your skin color as something that's going to cripple you and be like, well, you know, I guess I didn't make the team because I'm black, and there was only room for 2 black kids on the team. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So no, I appreciate you sharing that your take on that, because I agree with you, man. I totally agree that we do as a community allow certain things to kind of cripple us and not use it to empower us, and then also allow it to bring us together, because it can definitely turn into a strength in numbers instead of just kind of sitting back and just be like, well, I guess they didn't get their promotion, or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? We have to change our mindset, and I think everything starts. If you want to gain anything, you have to change your mindset. You know what I mean? Like, I work in an industry, in an aeronautical space industry, and it's not too many of us, right? And when I first got there, I remember the day one, I was kind of looking around the office and everything, and I'm just like, all right, I guess I'm gonna be the token. Just keeping it a buck, right? And so, you know, the expectations are like always high. They're keeping an eye on you. You're under a microscope, and you know, I'm prior service, so I'm just like, man, I'm about to go here and do me. Like, no one's gonna outwork me in this office. Point blank period. And I'm not working extra hard because I'm black and I gotta prove my point. I'm working extra hard because nobody's messing with me in this office. And you know what I'm saying? I took that more so
Exactly.
as more so as my drive is to like, look, I'm going in here, I'm getting all the promotions, I'm getting all the money, I'm taking everybody's spot, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And I think that's what kind of like, you know, you kind of separate yourself from a lot of people in the industry that you're in, is that you're not going to sit back. And I noticed that when I remember when I first met you, and I remember you working with a photographer, and I'm keeping him nameless, right?
Uh-huh.
And you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And the work was like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And his work has gotten better, but I've noticed that and correct me if I'm wrong, it feels like you was just like, you know what, can't nobody capture me like me, so I'm about to get behind the lens and do this myself. And I noticed I saw this transition, like, all right, I've been working with some people in the past. Okay, I'm about to do this myself. You kind of turned it up a notch, and your work is insane, right? Like, I'm like low key, like I'm not even low key, like high key. I'm a fan, right? And I'm just watching it grow, the growth and the vibes that you put out. And I love the content. I love what it stands for. And you're being yourself, and you don't sell yourself just to anything. Like, I could tell that you're very selective of what you do and who you work with.
Yeah. You have to be. I mean, it takes 2 seconds. That's the crazy thing. You can bust your ass your whole entire life.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've learned it just from where I grew up. I've seen real good dudes that were incredibly talented.
Yeah.
And they make one mistake, whether it be a business, whether it be with a female, whether it be a quick come up, you know what I mean? And that one mistake alters the rest of their life.
Yeah.
And in this game, especially like what I call, like, I don't know, this isn't the technical thing. This is something that I've just kind of started calling it over the last couple of years, and it's grown because you've seen it. If you're a you brand, and in case don't nobody know what that means, a you brand is you are your own product. You don't sell a product, you sell yourself, your image, your talent, your look, whatever it is. If you're a you brand, it takes one wrong partnership to completely blow that up.
Yeah.
And so the thing you got to understand too is you are a commodity.
Yeah.
So you're just I mean, I hate to say this, but in this world with a lot of these companies, you're just another digit to them. You know what I mean? Your investment, they see something that you're doing. They think that by giving you a product or something of that nature, that you're going to increase their revenue stream. So you're a number to them. You know, they don't care in a lot of sense. There's very few companies. I'll shout out to ASRV, which JB is an excellent, where they care about your morals, your ethics, your beliefs, your integrity of your brand, and then they work with you.
Right.
A majority of these outside brands want to work with you, and then they want to mold you into what they want you to be the perfect revenue stream for them.
Right.
You know, so you got to be. There's been a lot of brands in the last 2 years that I've had to just say, like, nah, man, I ain't messing with you. I ain't messing with you, bro.
Who's your favorite who's your favorite outside of ASRV that you've worked with? Like, or like some of the other brands that you was like, man, it's their brand, their model, their product. What are some of the other brands that you worked with in the past?
I like Athleticon. Athleticon is a sneaker company.
That's the sneaker company, right?
Yeah. I like Athleticon. They're cool, man. You know, they mess with a lot of UFC fighters. They back a lot of the UFC fighters. I really like the way that they do their thing. You know, they're very respectable. They kind of give you that freedom of press, just to go out there and be like, yo, be creative, do you. You know what I mean? Just wear the sneakers while you're doing you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
while you jumping from train to train, make sure you got the A's. Make sure you got the shoes on.
Yeah, so you know, they really cool, man. I liked working with them. I worked with Y3. Y3 was
I think that's one of the first times I like seeing your work was with Y3.
Yeah, Y3 was dope, dude. That was a collab that my boy had got his company into a collab, and he's like, look, man, I know you just got the look and where they're going, and so I got an opportunity to work with them, and that was cool, man. That was real cool. A lot of other ones, man, have just been. There's a lot of them, bro. There's a lot of companies just because, like what we talked about. Like once I sign up with you, for me to sign up with you, you got to be pretty. You know, I'm always meeting the CEOs. That's one thing I always tell people. People always ask me. They're like, "Hey, man, how do you get in with these brands? How do you get sponsorships and all this kind of stuff?" And I always tell people, be careful on who you're talking to.
Right.
Talk to the head honcho. Make whatever before you sign any paperwork, before you make any deals, meet the person that's running the company, that's the brains and the vision behind the company. You can't sign your name to something and not know where that ship is going.
Facts.
You know, I'm not like I wouldn't. You ain't gonna go jump on no cruise ship and not know the destination.
Facts.
You know what I mean? You gotta tell me the destination. So, you know,
like, don't be overzealous to sign with somebody. You know what I mean? Just because you selling yourself short. That's what happens to
so many of these people, man. I can't tell you how many people. I tell you what, bro. Like 2 years ago, I used to really care. Right? Mm-hmm. I don't care no more because I got a son. Like if I want to care about someone, I'm there you go. You know, right. 2 life lessons. There you go. You know, but like 2 years ago, I'd have friends that were getting into the industry, or you know, I'm saying associates, or whatever it be, and they'd be like, "Oh man, I just got, you know, they signed me to this deal. I'm gonna get this deal." I'm like, "Okay, cool. What are they paying you? What's your reviews? Is it quarterly, annually, biannually? What are you doing? What's your payouts? What's your commission structure? How do you?"
Right.
Well, man, they gave me a box of clothes.
Get you every time.
They gave you a box of clothes. Like, man, it was like $300-$400 worth of stuff. So like $50 for their end. Okay.
Right. Okay.
And you just signed an exclusivity contract for a year? Oh, bro.
That's hustling backwards, man.
It really is, man. It's not allowing yourself to grow, and that's because people undervalue themselves. You know what I mean? People undervalue themselves, and that's the problem. You cannot undervalue yourself. But here's the thing, though, too. There's a split. There's a split between that, bro. And the split is some people undervalue themselves, right? And other people, they haven't put enough stake in the game to even have a value. But people don't want to hear that.
Don't want to hear that. You hating if you say that. You hating? Why you hating?
Yeah, man. Man, you don't know, bro. Man, especially in the fitness, bro. The fitness industry is like, bruh, like.
Right, I feel you.
The street modeling, that's a little bit different. You know, people usually got a little persona to themselves before they go into that. But with the fitness, people be really thinking like, man, I be in the gym like 2.5 hours a day, bro. Like bro, yeah. How much you spend on your marketing, your allocations, how much are your client acquisitions? What are you doing with your R&D for your projections? What's your 3 to 5 year growth plan for your brand? You know, so those are things
you're talking over their head, just dropping that lingo right there. Right, they only have the 10% of it, and that's the body part. Right, it's like there's so much behind the scenes stuff that you need to be intact and just tuned with that you're literally possibly leaving thousands on the table every time.
Yeah, that's your value, though. That's your value. I mean, the first thing that got me value was I would have these brands hit me up and be like, "Hey, we want to hire you for a shoot," and you know, for 2 years, I was doing trade for pay,
right?
Straight up, like, yeah, man, cool. You give me this, I'll go shoot for you. You do this, I'll go shoot for you. You know, and after you get enough clothes, enough stuff, because that's the first thing. You just want to get some free stuff. You're like, I got free stuff. Yeah. Then after that, you're like, yo, man, this is time out of my day. You know, I gotta get paid for this.
Right.
So you start getting paid, and the thing that I realized is everything you do is monetizable.
Sure.
So I would then start getting hired for these shoots, and they'd be like, "Oh, we're trying to find locations," and I'd be like, "Hey, I'm out here shooting every day because I'm trying to work on my skill, not because I'm trying to post on Instagram." That's what people get. I'd shoot all day, and I wouldn't post nothing on Instagram, but it was because I was practicing. I was like, "All right, let me see this location. Let me do this. Let me scout this. Let me see what happens with the camera if we do it like this." You know, creating your own style, and so that became another way for me to increase my value now. They'd pay me a modeling fee, and then they'd be like, "Oh, we have to do this." I'd be like, "Yo, I got 3 locations that are dope," and I'd shoot it over to them, very strategic, make sure there was no like markers where they could tell where it is, or like no landmarks, you know what I mean? And they'd be like, "Oh, that's a dope location. Cool. Run me another 300, and I'll give you all 3 of those."
That's everything can be sold, bro. Anything and everything can be sold
because they selling.
Exactly. Exactly. Like a lot of people don't think about that, like selling their locations. Like if you're out there doing the work, you're scouting, right? Package it all up, make it into one of those packages where they just like, "Oh, I'm getting this, I'm getting the model, I'm getting 50 pictures, I'm getting the locations." Like it's the Godfather deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then you can get an extra $300, $400, $500, or however you value yourself, man. Like
exactly. And that builds up. That
It
builds up.
builds. It builds. And on top of it, they're like, damn, he took the legwork out of it. You know what I mean? He found the locations. You know what I mean? It makes it easier for the company because all they need to do is just send the Venmo, cut the check, or whatever the case may be. You've already done the work. A lot of people get in this game and they don't want to do the work. They just be like, oh, I got the body for it. I'm good. Like, no, it's deeper than that. Like, you want to turn this into
You gotta think, man. Like, I be trying to tell people, think, bro. Like, when the first time I was with on a shoot, and the photographer and videographer hella cool with me, right?
Sure.
Like, hella, we just over here chopping. I ain't gonna lie, I was over there smoking a blunt with them. Like, I don't even know why I said blunt. Joint, because I don't smoke tobacco, y'all. But so I'm over there smoking a joint or whatever, and I'm talking to him. We blah blah blah. We chopping it up, and I was like, oh yeah. They were like, hey man, like I got some other gigs coming up. What's your rate? You know what I mean? I want to hire you, and I was like, oh blah blah blah. Here's my rate. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I was like, yo, bro, like I always got some deals. I got some sponsorships and stuff like that. Yeah. Yo, what's your rate for a project like this? Bro, when I found out what they were getting paid.
Yeah.
And I said, wait, y'all getting paid to shoot this and do this. And I know this location. Man, that's how you monetize it. Well, okay, you do 10% in the gym, you got your body, right? Now that means you start learning how to pose, you start how to look in front of the camera. Okay, you got another percentage. Well, now you start researching your locations, getting your locations, charging for locations. Okay. Yo, it's not hard these days. You can look up YouTube, you can go to community college. I took a YouTube university course, like you said, and said, man, what camera are you using? Okay, it costs that much. So it's basically like that much of an investment. All right, let me invest that money. Let me sit back now and let me just learn. Bro, when I tell you no bullshit, by my second job, what I turned into is instead of me getting casted to go out and model, I was returning back and saying, look, hey, I pretty much know what you're going to pay for your photographers and videographers. I know what this is going to happen. What if I just do it all? What if you just send me the clothes? You go ahead and send me this budget. I'll undercut it so you can save a little bit of money. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do the whole entire campaign. You got your model. You got your locations. I'm doing the shooting. I'll get all your stuff done and I'll turn it back into you.
Boom.
You're able to monetize everything you're able to do. And that's what cats have to look at. They have to look at if you in the gym and you in shape, there's another 50 people, 60 people in the gym at the same time that are there in shape
right next
too.
To you. Right.
There's nothing different that you offer. You know what I mean?
Which one do you like? Like you've done both in front and behind the camera and creating the content. Which one do you prefer at this point in your career?
Dude, I don't. People gonna take this whatever way they want to take it, but look, I love being in front of the camera. Obviously, you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. When I step back, I really like bringing it all together. There's frustrations too, you know, when you're behind the camera. Sometimes your vision, the equipment you got, or even your skill set can't bring what you want to life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But really, it came into like the creative directing and the directing aspect of it. I really like that. I really like bringing a story together. I really like seeing, you know, someone that even has more capability on shooting with me or maybe editing. So I'll shoot and I'll pass on the footage to them and they'll edit it to me, to my vision. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's also parts of me when I shoot for a company and I'm doing the creative direction and directing and we're shooting someone and I'm like, damn, I could do that better. I'd be like, damn, that location, man, you ain't even using the location the way you're using it. Damn, bro, like, damn, you can't do that? Damn, let me get in there and do it real quick.
That's funny, dog.
No, yeah.
You know, let me slide. Hold on. Hey, let me do the pose. This is how they want it to be done. You know what? Just run about 100. Just run me 100 pics real quick and me.
No, but it's different, man. And I'm getting older, bro. So like things I was doing 5 years ago, you know what I mean? I'm not doing them now. I'm not, you
of
know,
course.
So I like seeing these young cats come in. They 22, 23 years old. Like, wait, you want me to jump there and then go put up there and then jump off there? Yeah. All right, cool. I remember being that age too. You gonna wake up tomorrow and go running and jogging and be happy? I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and be like,
be like, babe, where's my CBD oils?
Yep.
Can you rub this on my back, please? Because
that day, Axel was getting everything for daddy. Hey, go get the remote for daddy. Go get me some food.
Hey, seriously, and they get to that age too, right? I'm teaching my daughter early, like, hey, that controller right there. Bring that on over.
Yes.
And she's just so happy to do it. Like,
yes, she is. Well, enjoy it. We both gotta enjoy it now because teen years ain't that long.
But say, man, so you got a son, man. So your conversations are way different, right? Mine's is like, look, I got to give her. One thing I will say, Paris is definitely gonna have a game. Like, she ain't gonna be out here in these streets on some craziness. But I think my biggest thing is kind of teaching my daughter is like, just be you. Obviously,
Yep.
I'm not holding any type of expectations in the point of like, you have to do these X, Y, and Z. You have to be an engineer. You have to be like, I don't want to put that type of pressure on her.
Nope.
I just want her to be her and be happy. But I definitely want her, don't be a follower. Like, it's okay to be lame in school. You know what I mean? Like, it's fine. It's okay to be lame. Like, your dad was like, I played sports and stuff like that, but I was like always kind of to myself besides the people I grew up with. And I never looked to like wanted to be cool with the cool people, right? I was like, look, high school is 4 years
that's
and
great.
I'm out.
I think it's great this generation though. I don't think our kids are gonna grow up the same way.
Yeah.
I think this I mean, I hate to say this like the new generation is soft as hell, but but
they're different.
They're different.
Yeah.
But the difference is that I think, growing up in like the 80s and the 90s, we had so many you had to walk a certain way, you had to talk a certain way. You couldn't do that. You don't play this, you do this. And I think now where our kids are growing up, especially in the teen years, everything's so much more socially acceptable. People want to allow people to be whoever they want to be. You know what I mean? But that sheep mentality is the one thing that can always curve in. And that's the number one thing you got to teach your kid, in my personal opinion, is like you said, just don't allow no one to ever make you a follower. And I used to hate it. When they used to say like the old timers used to say like, well, man, if you in a room with 100 people and they all saying you crazy and you saying they crazy, odds are you the crazy one.
You the crazy one.
That ain't always true, man. That ain't always true. That ain't always true.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm super curious in seeing how how our kids kind of grow up in this society, man. I think this society is a little more in tune with their emotions that we didn't have back in the day. Like it was damn near against the law first to like share our emotions or cry or
as a man too.
As a man, as a black man too.
Oh God, no. What you mean? Like, what tears? What are those?
Right. And it kind of and to get to swing that into like what I'm doing with my platform, we've had conversations too. But this whole generational wealth thing is that our people, our ancestors, our fathers and their fathers and mothers and their mothers missed out on a lot. There was a lot of red tape that didn't allow them to have any type of generational wealth. And I'm looking now that these kids now are not going for it, man. They're willing to fight and stand and march for it, and it's a beautiful thing. Generational wealth, right? Since this is the topic of the podcast, what does generational wealth mean to you and for your family?
It's simple, man. I could die and my family gonna be good the rest of their lives.
Facts. As simple as that, right?
As simple as that, man. If you I don't buy anything, bro.
Yeah.
I don't buy anything. I'm the cheapest person you ever meet. And people always like, why you want to call yourself cheap? Because I'm cheap.
Yeah.
I don't run from it. Like I'm cheap. Like I go to the, I still get all the organic stuff, but I go to the discount organic stores. You know what I mean? When I walk into a sneaker
make sure you
place,
text me them discounted organic discount. I need that text, man.
Bro,
where that at?
Organic, and I done saved. My last grocery trip was $350 I saved.
Yeah, man. Send me that text.
I will holler at you.
I need to know.
You gotta I don't see the purpose in it. Like all we have left, bro. And I want to enjoy life. Don't get me wrong. Don't make people think I don't want to enjoy life and take trips and buy nice things every once in a while. Because I do, and I like having my lady have some nice things and stuff like that. But I don't see the point in spending unless you know that your legacy is secured.
Facts. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it really twists my mind when you think about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you spend all your money to build other people's legacies. You spend all your money to have the name, name brand and the designer, which are all other people's family names and legacies. Facts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, you don't think about what you do. Like, you know, like I got cats that, you know, I tell them straight up, like, bro, you buy a new pair of sneakers every other week. Like, it's like your thing. Like, oh, well, that's just what I do for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, cool.
Right.
You got to do things for yourself. There ain't nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But you got anything set up in your kids like funds?
Right.
Like, you know, the $200 sneakers that you buy every paycheck, every 2 weeks. Do you know what that would accumulate to over 18 years if you started putting it away for your son right now?
Each month. Your
Do you know
son will
what
be,
that,
man, that's crazy.
you know what I'm saying?
I just did the math, right? So I was, and it's funny that you used $200 because I used $100, and so I was working on some math yesterday for Paris, right?
Okay.
Trying to figure out in 30 years where can I get her, because obviously I'm gonna teach her all financial literacy, right?
Absolutely.
So I was like, okay, if we put away $100 each month, 30 years, she can come out with like $2.4 million. And I think what the issue is, Quest, is when people hear people hear three things. They hear the $100 a month.
Yep.
They hear the 30 years.
Yep.
And then they hear the 2.4 million. Right. Yep. So in a normal person ears, first thing they hear is 30 years, bro. Like 30 years.
What the fuck am I gonna do with that?
Like, you know how long 30 years is? I won't even know if I'm gonna be alive for 30 years. Right.
Exactly.
And then the long-term investor, or the one that's like planning, is here's $100 a month. And they're thinking like, man, I blow $100 a month on some dumb stuff. Like, that's not bad.
Yep.
And then the last thing that the person that's thinking about generational wealth, they thinking, if I die, my kid is gonna have $2.4 million. And they learned the lessons that I taught them. So when they have kids, they're gonna teach them, and it's gonna continue to that next child in line, 2.4, 2.4, 2.4.
You are pushing up the lines. And I always try to use things in analogies for people. It's like this. Like when you watch the Olympics and you see people run the 400, right? Mm-hmm. And everyone's in different lanes, right? And they're all kind of like staggered because the inside lane is actually the shortest lane, right?
Right.
It's like you're taking your child from the inside lane and you're pushing him up every time you do something, to the point where he's on the inside lane and he's still the first in line. That's what we got to keep doing. You got to understand, if we came from nothing, I didn't have no financial literacy. My credit was destroyed by the time I was 13. We ain't even going to get into that, but a majority of people in our culture go through that. Okay.
Facts. Yeah.
I had no understanding. For me to take it from where I took it, which is nothing, I had to dig out the mud first, right? Like we don't even get a fresh start. We don't get a clean start. We got to dig in the mud, find our seed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Replant that seed in soil that can actually develop, right? Mm-hmm. And then we have to work for our fruit of labor.
Right.
And then we do the exact same thing. We pass away and we leave the exact same mess for our next. They have nothing else. So then they got to fucking dig down. But if we do this kind of stuff, like the 100, the 200, whatever it is per month, you're allowing them, if you pass away, the number one thing you can give your child is a seed, and say, you ain't got to dig for it. You ain't got to spend the years through the mud and pulling dirt underneath your nails and the emotional and mental problems that come with constantly dealing with the adversity. Yeah. I can just give you this seed, and now I want you to just go plant it. Yeah. And everything I taught you, you're going to know how to water it. You're going to know how to nurture it. You're going to know what kind of sun it needs. And now you're going to go 10 times higher than me. I don't care what no man say. This is my philosophy on manhood. If your child ain't better than you, you didn't do your job.
That's a fail. That is definitely an L for real. That's a fact.
And that ain't to knock no one, because I know
no,
you're everything.
Yeah.
That's my personal philosophy on myself. I want my son to be 10 times the man that I am.
I think we share the same. I think we share the same tape, man. And my mom is like that. She was like that with me growing up, and I never understood it until as I obviously have my own child, and you just want that for that child, your child, to be 20 times better. And my mom, she's a hardworking woman. She, worked in the police department, worked 2 jobs, and just a hardworking Black woman, and just kind of went through different tests in her life, and she passed every test. And so she sits back, man, and she's just like, I'm super proud of you. and I'm glad that you're doing 10 times better than me. And I'm sitting here like, Mom, but you're doing good too. She's like, no, you're doing better than me. And that's all I can ask for. And it didn't, like, she tells me all the time. And when Paris came and then she started more so just functioning, you just looking at your kid, you're like, I want you to have everything and anything. And if I need to make changes now so you can have better opportunities, so you ain't got to go through the BS. And not saying I went through a lot of BS, but as far as like when it comes to financial literacy, I didn't have it because my mom didn't have it. Her mom didn't give her that. Her mom didn't give her that. Their mom didn't give her that because they were slaves. And so they damn sure didn't get that. You know what I mean? So I think there's importance of learning as a group, as a collective, and that's what the generational wealth is all about. That's this online university that I'm putting together is not saying I know everything, you guys listen to me. It's no, let's all get together and share the information and resources, and let's figure this shit out together.
And now, mind you, I'm gonna plug it, but you did not tell me to do this, y'all. So just go ahead of the show. He didn't tell me to. I got on generational wealth, like a week and a half ago?
Yeah,
like a week and a half ago.
Yeah, something like that.
I used the picks. All right. I was building my portfolio already, but the discussions that were made on there. Now, mind you, no one's on there saying like, yo, go get this now. Right. They're just like,
we're talking about stocks, just to let y'all know. We're talking about
stocks. There you go. They're like, yo, check this out. The knowledge that's passed around in there by people that just want to share knowledge. I'm going to talk in terms that people can understand. In 1 week, I went up $790.
Boom.
And that's not to say that that's what I'm telling people to do. I'm just saying spread yourself with people that want to share knowledge, that want to grow, whatever form or facet it is. Yes. But I have to give it up. I have to give it up to, and I appreciate you for welcoming me in there because it really, of course, it already helped me mentally wise look and study more. You know what I mean? But it's a great community, and at the same time, it did make me money. So
hey, that part, you know what I mean? No, I appreciate you, man, because I saw you. I think it was before I reached out to you, and I don't know if you reached out to me or if I reached out to you, but I noticed that you were you were in the game, and we've talked before in a few years, and I was kind of like dibbling and dabbling, and I really started taking serious few years for me now. But I saw that you were getting there, and I was sitting like, hell yeah, like. And I know you, and I know you're going to go to the University of YouTube and Google Institution.
You already know.
And I know you're about to dig into it. And I'm like, hell yes, what I'm talking about. Because I want to see more. And I say from our community because I am my brother's keeper, right? That's how I feel. So I want to see more of us get in the game because I've had conversations with people I've grown up with. And they be like, man, the stock market is a scam. The market crash, you lose your money. And I'm just like, but that's not how it really works. Like, yes, the market will crash. You will lose your money at that given time. But guess what? The stock market is the backbone of our financial system. It will come up, and they don't understand. Like, I love red days in the market. I'm buying up everything in a red day. Because I know the green day is coming. And when that green day come and I didn't bought it and that motherfucker then doubled and tripled, we cash out, collect the profits, and we do it again. We rinse and repeat. You know what I mean?
It's no different than anything else.
Yeah.
And it's no different than anything else. I really, it's kind of crazy when you think about it. When I just finally discovered what, people always like, man, it's really easy. It really, and then but you're like, ain't nothing easy about that. What the hell you mean? You see all these charts and all this. What the hell? This ain't nothing easy. Yeah. But when you start to really understand the psychology behind it as well, you know what I mean? There's psychology, there's everything behind it, but it doesn't work the way that you think it works. And that's the problem. We are told so many fearful things growing up. We're not taught financial literacy, but we're also taught fear. Fear, like, oh man, you put this, now mind you, I'm talking to my brother who is 51 years old. Okay. And I'm talking to him about stocks, right? And I'm telling him what I'm doing. And he's asking me just how you doing? It looks like you're doing really well, blah, blah, blah. Not just stocks, just in life. You know what I mean? Right. I was like, oh yeah. Right. And I'm like, hey man, I've really been, putting some time into this. This has been my new thing to really just focus on right now. Another skill set to have.
Right.
And it's funny to listen to him talk to me because the things he's saying to me are the things I was saying to myself 2-3 years ago. Yeah, man, I can't put no. Well, I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna put $1,000 in. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow morning. It's gonna be gone, man. It's my whole life. My whole life messed up now. It don't work like that, bro. It don't work like that. Well, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
Why do people say to Nike?
Hey, well, why do people say I put my money in and automatically gonna lose it? Why nobody going to it like I put my money in and it might double? Why don't nobody think like that?
Ain't that funny that you'll say that, but then you'll go to Vegas with $500 and be like, man, I'm gonna come up. I'm gonna come up this trip,
bro. Like, or
like, do
like
you
Vegas,
think that don't make no sense?
or if I go get these scratchers, like, man, I'm not buying $1,000 worth of scratchers because I know the likelihood of winning the lottery, you have a better likelihood of getting struck by lightning twice.
Look, this is what I told my brother, and I said, look, I said, I ain't look. The scratchers, man. I seen one of them for like $40. And I said, boy, who is buying $40 scratchers? He said, man, we got people that come in here and clear them out. Oh man,
On one take. They
but
would,
then won't put their money in no investments.
check this out. So I used to work for a college, right? So we just worked in an office setting. And anytime the Mega Millions or whatever is like just crazy, let's just say $500 million.
Yep.
Same team people will put hundreds and hundreds of dollars in there, combining them to get scratchers. On Monday, they still working with me, right? So I'm like, hey, why don't y'all put some money together and buy like Facebook shares for Facebook IPO? Oh man, Facebook do that, man. That's a dumb thing. They don't have nothing. It's just a social media platform, blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, so y'all not gonna put your money together? So y'all gonna put your money together to throw it away for some scratchers, not win, get carry over the next day and keep doing it? Okay. So when Facebook went IPO, I think I bought like 50 shares just off the IPO alone. I ended up eventually getting up 150 shares. And so it took Facebook a couple of years, and I was still working there. A couple of people still working there. It's like, yo, how's that Facebook stock stuff going, man? Can you tell me a little bit more about it? So I was like, yeah, I opened up my portfolio and showed them exactly how much I made off of Facebook since the IPO. They was like, damn, man, I should have put my money in there. I was like, listen, man, you should have, would have, could have. I was trying to tell you guys. And it goes back to what your mindset, right? Or in financial literacy. What means more to you at this point? These scratchers and trying to hit it big off of a small chance, or something that steadily grows. The stock market steadily grows every year 10% since 1996, right?
But that's just that's the mentality, bro. It's the same mentality. It's the same mentality you see in fitness. Why people want to do a diet and they want to get in shape in 60 days before summer, even though they had all winter to take their time and really put in that work. They don't want that. Everybody do. Everyone wants that fast money. Everyone wants to say, "Oh man, I'm gonna put 500 in. I'm gonna get 5,000." It's like it don't work like that. It don't work like but nothing good works like that. When you go buy a fancy car, the reason that car is way more expensive than the junk car down the street is because the time, the labor, the craftsmanship. The reason you buy a Louis Vuitton bag over a Target bag is because the time, the craftsmanship, the longevity to create that product.
Materials, all that stuff. Yeah.
You are not going to create generational wealth overnight. And if you do, more power to you. But one of two things. Either you got extremely lucky, and there's the truth. You got extremely lucky. Or two, you doing something that eventually can all be taken away from you because you ain't doing it the right way. You know what I mean? I ain't saying it, but I'm saying it. You know what I mean?
Hey, you came to the group right during the time of AMC and that whole game shop thing. For somebody who is getting into stocks and everything, and I'm just asking, like, what was your thought? Like, yo, is this what the market is about, or was it just more so like what was your thought? What was your train of thought behind all that?
My train of thought behind all that was, I knew there was a lot of money being made. I knew that I had a friend tell me something, though, that I think is probably the most valuable advice I've had. One of the most valuable advices that I've had in this industry and getting into investments and stuff. If you hear about it on social media or the news, you too late. You too late. You know what I mean? Like he told me, you believe anything you hear on the news? I'm like, oh, hell no. He's like, then why you take their advice and believe this? Like, if they telling you, it's because it's too late, bro. So, maybe if you would come to me 2-3 weeks ago and you knew something, okay. but that's not how it works. You know, that the advice that he gave me, I've reached out to certain people that I know personally that do it. You know, I've reached out to you, I've reached out to a couple of people and said, hey man, you know, do you got some time? And you guys share your time with me. And the number one thing that he also told me was, yo, stick to a plan. Same way you do your fitness, bro. Like you have a regimen. You do your legs, you do your upper body, you do your full days, you do your cardio days. Just because your boy comes in and he decides he wants to do heavy leg day on your cardio day, you ain't just gonna switch up your whole game plan, are you?
Right.
No, you got a game plan to get to your goal. The same thing that comes with your investments. You know, I work backwards, and I did that because of everyone that is that has been mentoring me in this has been in this for a little bit. And they said, look, man, you can do, people mistake gambling in the market and investing in the market. Those are two totally different things. And a lot of newbies want to gamble because they're like, oh man, okay, so if I put in 5, what you're saying I can maybe flip it to 15?
Right.
There is you know, there's swings, it's there. It's there.
The possibility is definitely there.
But for me, it was more about, once again, full circle generational wealth. So for me was, let me look at growth stocks. Let me look at dividend stocks. Let me look at what I can put my money into now. And that's my safeguard. You know what I mean? That's why, okay, I'm going to let that sit there. That doesn't exist, you know? And then I'll gamble here and there on some, because there's been some good ones.
Some little options here and there, you know, but you gotta make sure your foundation is solid.
I think it's crazy. I think I think what happened to the market and what's going to continue to happen to the market, I think is going to be extremely volatile in 2021.
It'll be a tough year.
I felt very good telling certain people about a couple of things. And that was just me. I was like, yo, the attention that cryptocurrency is getting right now is phenomenal.
Awesome.
You know, I'm not gonna lie, I was able to make a nice little penny on Dogecoin.
Hey, shout out to Dogecoin. As my dad called him. He called it Dodge. Is it dog coin?
Shout out to Elon for that one, bro. Like,
Elon, he sent another tweet last night too.
Yeah, he did.
Did you see that?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
I got his notifications on.
I don't follow no one else but Elon on Twitter. I swear to God, this is the only person I follow on Twitter.
Elon's crazy. Shout out to Elon, man.
This market is going to be absolutely. I'm excited to bring it full circle. I'm excited because, you know, I don't live in the woulda, coulda, shoulda. You know what I mean? I was looking into other things. I had known about other things, but it just wasn't in my wheelhouse at that time. I was focusing on building my content, still doing all this other kind of stuff. And that's what I do tell people. And I will tell people this: if you're going to get into this, know what you're getting into it and how much time it's going to take. You know what I mean? Because if you just want to get into and put your money away and then sit back and go do your thing, you can do that. And then come check your money like me. I mean, I'm gonna put my money into some companies that I see in the next 5 years are going to be something big. I'm not going to be looking at my phone every day. I might check it every once in a great while to say, oh, cool, they're doing good.
And that's a good point. Definitely for anybody who's getting into investor, day trader, whatnot, understand what type of trading you're going to be doing. Are you going to be doing long term? Are you going to be doing short term? Are you going to be doing day trading? Are you going to do options only? Like, understand like the basics before getting into the game. And if y'all want to tap in with generational wealth, man, we're more than welcome to bring you guys along. We're a little bit more, I don't want to say advanced, but we mostly talk about what's hot. And to Quest's point previously, like we try to grab things before the internet, because you're absolutely right. If you hear about it on Bloomberg, Money Channel, any type of channels or Instagram or the net, it's a dub. It's a wrap. It's already at its peak.
It's game over.
Once you come in there, so this is how they play. I'm gonna break y'all down, man, real quick. I'm gonna break it down to y'all. And Quest, no, when you hear about it, it's at its peak. You start throwing your money at it, right? Guess who already got it at the beginning? The whales, the sharks. They got it on the way up. So as soon as you start throwing money in, it looks like it's going up, but their pockets are getting fat. And then what they're gonna do? It's gonna drop because they're taking profits. They're taking your money because you jumped on the way late. So while you're throwing money, then big whales, they out there like, yeah, we getting full, we eating all the little small fish up, and you catching the little crumbs on the back end. They sell red. Now you sitting here, oh man, I told you this market is a scam. Nah, man, you got to do your research. You got to tap in. You got to learn how to. You got to learn how to keep your risk low. So
You have to do that, and then two, you have to do your due diligence on the thing I like about generational wealth is, yes, it's a more advanced platform. You know what I mean? As far as some of the people will share their investment portfolios, and you can say, "Oh, you know what you're doing." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the thing about it is you guys are able to pass on knowledge that is out there before it's getting picked up. And if you are like me, I look at everything you guys post, and then I'll go on the internet. I'll go through everything I possibly can read about it, any information, and then I'll do my own due diligence, obviously, and then make my own choices of it. Right. But that I really have to put it out there that just the ability to, there's so many different things you can look at. You can get lost. It's like going into a grocery store hungry. You know what I mean? Like everything look good. Oh, this look good. That look good. This look good. You know what I mean? Yeah, so it's good to have a community of people that are more experienced, more intelligent in this game to say, hey man, I'm not telling you to get this, but I just want you to look at it. And then on top of that, I'm gonna show you proof that I believe in it because look, I'm putting into it. You know what I mean? So now go make your own decision. So that's been a really good thing for me because every other time I've tried to get into a group, I told you this in our conversation before, just on the phone. I felt like they're trying to sell me. And I don't want to be sold. It's like something in the rebel in me. When you try to sell me, I'd be like, man, get the hell. You know what I mean? So that this platform allows you to just really kind of, okay, I see why you guys are saying that. Okay, that makes sense. You give me a couple reasons. Now I'm gonna go read up on. I'm gonna make my decisions. You know,
that's the goal, man. Like I just want people to start investing. That's why I envision with this whole platform is finding different ways. And I know we're talking about stocks here and everything, but understand like for those who do or will come over to generational wealth, we also talk about real estate opportunities. We're going to be talking about life insurance and how it's important to have life insurance because that's a growth investment for your seeds as well. Credit is very important. I understand people say cash is king. It sounds good when you when a realtor tells you, "Hey, where's your pre-offer letter at?" Right? That's based off of credit checks. You know what I mean? So credit. We talk about credit. We talk about business and business opportunities, and some things. You know, the non-attractive things. Like a lot of people want to jump in an investment game. Like I'm do stocks and real estate. Well, what about reselling? There's probably a bunch of junk in your garage that you can flip and make some money. You know
e-commerce is booming.
Especially now due to this pandemic, man.
E-commerce is booming right now.
And I want to get. I think personally, I'm about to jump into dropship. Man, I ran across two people yesterday talking about dropship.
I was one of them.
You're one of them, and then I had another one of my close homies hit me up. He was getting a business loan, and the guy that was working his loan at the bank was telling him about Amazon dropshipping. So I got to dig into it.
It's another. I mean, just briefly, I got a very business partner. Started off as a friend, became a business partner. I actually started off as a client, became a friend, then became a business partner. He was making around $4,000 a month, and this is no bullshit story. Making around $4,000 a month as a bartender 2 years ago. This man just bought a multi-million-dollar condo, 2 floors, 2 beds, or 2 bedroom, 2 bath, fucking beautiful, fully furnished on Miami South Beach.
Big.
We're talking he doing 110, 120 a week from Amazon dropshipping.
Crazy.
It's absolutely insane.
I know the money's there, man. I know the money is there for sure.
People. I mean, everything's transferring. Everything's transferring to online. Yeah. You know what I mean? Everything is going to online. People, it's faster. It's becoming more reliable. You know what I mean? It just that's something I'm working on the back end 100% because
we'll have an off the air conversation about that.
Oh yeah, you know we're gonna have plenty of those.
Hey, and then once we get the bars and the resources together, we'll bring it back here for another episode for sure. Hey, I got some couple of questions for you, man. Outside of generational wealth, this is like my little fun hour or fun couple of minutes with the podcast.
Cool.
If you was on a deserted island, right?
Yep.
Which book, which album, and which movie would you have with you?
Oh damn. Man, I'm a movie fiend. So you asked me about movies too. I don't know.
Let me get one.
Boondock Saints. Album, man. Man, I'm old school. I'll probably have to go Machiavelli, to be honest with you.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that.
What was the other question? It was album, book.
Yep.
Man, I feel cliche, but man, I done read the book. I read 48 Laws of Power and Art of War every month for damn near 2-3 years now. You know what I mean? I mean, the psyche that comes out of both of those books is something that has really shaped my life. So I know a lot of people have read it. I don't know if people have
really digested.
Yeah, I don't think people have digested or used it the way you're supposed to use it.
When that book becomes to a point where it's like, oh yeah, I read it. Like it becomes like a cool thing to talk about. It's trendy. It's like, did you really digest it? I got that book when I was 18 years old. 2 weeks before I joined the Navy. My barber from Michigan. Shout out to Dice. He's still Dice in Atlanta. That's my homie. He gave me that book. He was like, listen here, I know y'all can read in boot camp. Take this book with you and read it. Understand it. Ever since then, man, like I've been a fan of Robert Greene. I've been a fan of his material. But that book did a lot for me. Especially in the military. Like it really helped me get through the military. It helps you kind of finesse your way through the bullshit too. So I recommend that book, 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene.
I might have to put Boys in the Hood out there too. I might have to put Above the Rim. I mean, I'm throwing a lot of 80s and early 90s movies out there, but you gotta understand. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna have to say it. If you look at the movie that shaped me the most, I'm gonna have to say Bruce Leroy. I probably watched that movie. I probably watched. And if you don't know, I'm not going to say the movie. I'm just going to say Bruce Leroy and Shona. If you don't know Bruce Leroy and Shona.
wait, Shona passed away last year, didn't he?
Yeah. Passed away from. Yo, shout out to taking care of checking, as you get older, check your health. Prostate cancer is real, especially in this community. I'm just saying, like, just because we brought it up, check your health, y'all, because you can have all the money in the world, everything go right. You cannot buy health.
All right, next question. What is your greatest regret?
Damn, my greatest regret. My ego. My ego in my late teens and my early 20s. Cost me a lot of opportunities and gave me about 10 more years of hard work and hard path before my ego got left behind. And I realized that ego ain't a positive thing to have.
Okay. All right. Next question. What is your most treasured possession?
Oh, my son. Yeah, people gonna be like, he ain't your possession. That boy belong to me.
What do you value most in your friends?
Man, honesty, bro. A lot of people say loyalty, but you can't have loyalty without honesty.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So honesty, man. Honesty. I don't care if you rich. I don't care if you poor. I don't care about any of that kind of stuff. Just honesty, man, because it translates to so many other things. People that are honest with you, they don't bullshit you. They keep you in check. They honest with how they feel about situations, and that's so valuable to surround yourself with honesty. People with honesty, intelligence, and integrity, you winning
every time.
You winning. So that's what I really look for. Yeah. Don't let me just sit there and then clown me after I gain 40 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that, man.
And then wait till I realize it and be like, yeah, man, I was gonna tell you.
I was gonna tell you, bro. You know what I'm saying, bro? But you over here eating chicken wings with me all day. Like, come on, man.
Right. My daughter's jumping. Tell me.
Yeah. Tell me off grip, man.
What is some of the cool shit that you've bought lately or using lately? It can be an app, a product, a service.
Well, man, what I'm gonna say, shit, every damn app I've been using now has been on your recommendation. So that's the thing I've been using that's cool. Like, man, the new app here. Let me look up this. Let me that and honestly, I've been using a lot of the toys with X. Some of these toys be fun, man. I got him these little remote cars that don't matter how many times you hit into a wall, just flip and keep going, and just flip and keep going. I'm like, bro, well, this is entertaining. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Kids got different toys this year. That like around this time, and they got way better toys than we had, bro.
Oh man, they got way better toys.
I don't know if Axe has the vacuum cleaner one, but Paris has the one. And I remember back in the day, we had the vacuum cleaner that had the balls in it, and it used to pop.
Yep.
Sing songs, it motherfucking changes colors. It does everything. It makes real vacuum noise. I'm just like,
they got the my mom's just sent him a gift. She said it should be in the mail this weekend or whatever, but she got him that dog, that little AI dog.
Oh, I know you're talking about. Yeah. It's kind of
it walks. It like it will play fetch and all that. Like, I swear to God though, if I wake up in the middle of the night and that dog looking at me.
Please IG story that shit if it's looking at you, man.
I'll be like, look, what happens when you throw your son's toy away because you're scared of it?
It's kind of like when you watch Child's Play back in the day, and if you had a My Buddy dog or Cabbage Back dog, whatever they were called.
No,
I threw mine away. I messed around and watched Child's Play.
Yeah,
scared myself to sleep.
Scared yourself away. Half to death.
My stepbrother had the thing sitting on top of me when I woke up, bro. I damn near lost it. I got 3 more questions for you. Share your greatest fear.
Man.
What is your greatest fear?
My greatest fear, man, is it's been the same. It's become even more prevalent day. My greatest fear is the what if moments. And I know people are always like, well, why would you think of what if? It's actually why I train the way I train. My greatest fear is my son or my woman needing me and not being able to do what's needed to protect them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I train for the what if moments. And the second one that weighs on me that's equally, because I have these two that just, they motivate me 24/7. But I fear the day that my son would ever look at me and not see me as his inspiration, but see me as his motivation. And what I mean by that is typically the things that motivate you are things that you are trying not to be like, things that you want to get yourself away from. You know, you're motivated to make money because you grew up poor. You know what I mean?
Right.
I want my son to see me as an inspiration. I never want to be a man that my son looks at and says, man, I don't want to be nothing like you, bro. You know, that's my biggest fear. So that's why you got to walk a certain way, talk a certain way, and hold yourself a certain way. So both of those things never happen.
You got the gyms and the bars going today, man. But that I feel you on this, especially for me with my daughter, man. Like whatever I do, she's gonna look at when she gets to that age, dating and start messing with guys. She needs to understand that I need someone like my father.
Yep.
And I have to set that example right now, because I mean, and you know what, we can get into that like on another one, but I feel you.
Yep. You already know. Bro. You already know.
Yeah. All right, I got 2 more, my G. Share, since you said you're frugal, and shout out. Hey, do you remember the TV show The Rock?
Yeah.
With cousin Joey.
Yeah.
So since you frugal, share a money saving tip.
Money saving tip. You know, this is, I don't know if this goes into it, but I mean, this is something I do. So, you know, you hear people for health, they fast, right? You know, for health wise, they have water fast, they kind of mental clarity, body's not digesting all the time. I did something that I was taught a long time ago back in college, and it's called a fiscal fast. And so what I do is I always try to bring myself back to remembering what it was like when I only had $100 in my pocket.
Right.
And you'd be surprised on what happens, because what happens is you make some money, right? You making 24. You feel like you want to spend 36. You're making 36. You feel like you want to make 54. You know what I mean? So it seems like we're always trying to outlive our means. Yeah. And a money saving tip, because people are always like, oh, I can't save money. You don't understand. I'm living paycheck. But I put myself on a fiscal fast. So what that is I give myself a strict amount for 1 week out of the month, right? And I keep to that, which means I may cut coffee for the entire week. Well, coffee is $7 every time I go. That's $49 that week I save. So I put that $49 away. I don't eat out that entire week. I only eat at home. I literally do not eat out at all. I only put in so much gas in my car. No bullshit, bro. I only put in $10 of gas in my car. I get all my errands done first. I don't need to go look at the mall right now. I don't need to go do that. I don't need to go do this.
Right. What?
You'd be surprised on cutting what you typical, because what I first do is I'll figure out how much I spend on a weekly basis.
Right.
And I'll cut it. I'll cut it by like a quarter. Obviously not including like, you got your rent, all that kind of stuff, but I cut it by a quarter. My coffee, maybe I go out to Kava a couple times to get some food. I buy like maybe a couple of things here and there. I'll cut it. You'd be surprised doing that over a course of a year, 1 week out of every month, how much money you actually put away at the end of that year, just by 1 week. Yeah. I know people are probably like, man, you made that a long answer, but I'm telling you, I'm telling you, people do a fiscal fast. Just take a week off where you not trying to always spend so much money, because that $5, that $6, that $5, that $4, it adds up. It adds up
fast,
quick.
Very
real fast.
And then you look at your monthly statement and be like, what the hell?
I was spending $346 a month on coffee.
I'm gonna get you a Keurig.
But people like, man, how the hell do you spend that much? I said, look, $7 a day, 7 days a week is $49. I said, some days I was real tired. I go get a double coffee, or maybe I get a coffee and a spinach wrap. That's $12. I looked at my Wells Fargo for the thing. It was $300 and some plus dollars in 1 month I spent on coffee.
That's crazy.
That's 3 stocks in Apple.
That was gonna be my next thing. Like, bro, you could have bought Starbucks shares.
I was gonna say that's more than 3 shares in Starbucks alone.
I always say, man, it's cheaper to buy the stock than a product sometimes. That's my little saying, man.
Especially when you're talking Nike and Starbucks and all that other stuff. Apple, yep.
All that stuff, man. Because it may not hit you right now, not you personally, but hit y'all right now when I said that. But you're like, well, Nike shares is 150, and I can buy some shoes for 74. But how many times you gonna buy those shoes, and how many different colors you gonna buy that shoes? Mm-hmm. At the end of the year, how much did you spend on shoes, and then how much did you spend on Nike shares? If the answer is 0 for Nike shares, that means obviously the product costs more than the shares.
Yeah. And don't be no Jordan or Yeezy head, because then you're going to spend
good night. And if you buying in resellers, then you definitely be paying double now. So let's not even break that down.
Let's not even go. That's a whole nother video.
How they out here finessing y'all. I say y'all. I mean, I still buy shoes. I got Nike shares.
Yeah, I did too. Don't let us be up out here fronting.
Hey, I told, man, before I let you go, man, and then somebody was like, man, you just bought the Tesla, right? And I'm just like, okay, I see where you about to go.
I see where you're about to go with it.
Go ahead. And he was like, well, you can't tell us to change your mindset and buy assets, blah, 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 blah. Okay, fair. Okay, 2012, Tesla dropped. I've been wanting Tesla since then. 2015 was my first time buying Tesla shares. I don't even remember how much it was. Pretty sure I can look it up. I told myself I would have over 20 shares of Tesla before I even buy a Tesla. Mm-hmm. It's 2020 when I got this Tesla. So if I want to, I can cash out, just pay the Tesla off.
Exactly.
With Tesla
exactly.
Shares. So
exactly.
There's a method behind anybody, like we said, you got to have a plan. Mm-hmm. Before I bought a Tesla, I need to have Tesla shares. I believed in Tesla early, right? Yep. I knew that what we see now was what they're going to be because they had no true competitors.
Yep.
I was like, let me get in early and let them shares do what they need to do. So when I get to the wanting to, where I can actually afford to have the car, buy my home, do some other things on the side, start the family, this, that, and the third, that stuff. By the time I'm ready to have a Tesla, I got 2 options. I can buy it. I can either buy it or I can just, just buy straight out or pretty much just put it on what's the word? Finance it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that's why I bought the Tesla, people, because I know some people ask and they be like, "Oh, you out here balling?" No. I planned for this.
You also, when they see the gas prices this summer, they're gonna understand why you bought a Tesla.
That was the main reason why. Like, I'm trying to get my wife to. I just gave her because I paid off my other car last year. On top of that, so I gave her my car. So we have 2 cars that's paid off, and then we got. I'll tell anybody, and I'll keep it a buck. This Tesla can go tomorrow. I will put this shit on Facebook Market ASAP. Like, I would sell this. Like, it don't mean nothing to me, bro. Like, something that I want, I got it, and I will get rid of it tomorrow. Like, in a heartbeat.
Yeah, if you needed to do it, so be it.
And go back to not having a car now.
No, you ain't living in California and having no car. I'll tell you that. That ain't the business.
Last question, my boy. Top 3 goals for 2021.
Top 3 goals for 2021. I want to land my first $100,000 contract. If people don't know what I mean by that, that's for content creation. Second goal is I want to triple my portfolio. Okay. My third goal is I want to walk into my 36th birthday the best shape I've ever been in my life.
Boom. Generational wealth. He's Questhawk. I'm Shooter. This is the Teacher's Lounge. Thank you for rocking with us for the last hour and some change. Bro, I appreciate you taking time out.
Oh, damn, man. I appreciate you, bro.
Enjoy your family, man. Thanks for dropping these jewels. You gave me so many outtakes and bars that I'll be able to slice up and put on here, man. But now, man, I want to give you your flowers again, man. I've been watching. I'm proud of you, man. Continue to be that inspiration in your son's life and your girl's life as well, too. And for everybody that's on the internet that's following you on social media, man, I'm pretty sure you got some big fans in there that may not want to say it, but they are. But keep killing it, man. Whatever you need on my end, and from the rest of you, let me know. And I'll definitely got to have you back on the show. But I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you, brother.
Teacher's Lounge. Again, that's Questhawk. Go follow him. All his social medias is at Questhawk. You see it right here on the left side of the screen. He also has a business, Questhawk Vision _ I think it's Questhawk _ Vision, right?
Yeah. I just post up some stuff on there. We'll be making some announcements coming up here in the next a week or two, but we ain't gonna say it right yet.
Show, please. Can I get the exclusive?
You got it, bro. Trust me. This is gonna be a good one.
Yeah, y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? Teachers Lounge. We're gonna get the exclusive. And if y'all want to check out some of his work, make sure y'all hit his gram up. Also check out ASRV. He made some dope content for that company. He actually got me buying their product because I knew nothing about it, and I just was buying it. You were doing your thing, so I wanted to support. But I actually like they stuff. It's like legit.
Yeah, like, it's legit. Especially if you're a Nike head. Like if you grew up a Nike head, you go. Yeah.
Low key, I think they might. They might be like right there with them motherfuckers though.
Yo, you know what though? Shout out to they're from the same spot.
Let's
they're
have
from the same.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll have to get into that.
Them boys got something. But
yeah, they do
I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. Stay safe. Enjoy the time with Mom Dukes in town and everything, man. Absolutely. And stay safe, bro. Stay dangerous. You too, brother. Peace. Hey, I appreciate y'all rocking with us, man. Hey, make sure y'all follow Quest. He's doing a lot of dope stuff, man. He's a big inspiration, man. If you're thinking about getting into content creation, hit him up, man. He does one-on-one coaching. He does mentorships programs as well. He doesn't mind sharing his knowledge and sitting down and talking with you guys. Anyway, I got to run. Shooter, this is the Teacher's Lounge, powered by Generational Wealth University. We out this thing.
Generational wealth, that's the key. My parents ain't have shit, so that shift started with me.
Generational Wealth University, building wealth with financial literacy in stocks, real estate, credit, reselling, taxes, and more. Brick by brick, classes in session with Generational Wealth University.